One of the biggest misconceptions about non-visible disabilities is that notion that if you can't see it, it's not real. It can definitely be hard to help other people understand, whether that's in work or relationships. Judy, what about you? Do you ever tell... I remember you saying, actually, quite early on when you came here that you were dyslexic.
Yeah.
Do you always do that when you're starting a new job?
I do, especially if it's, you know, most of the jobs, anything that I do is something I've got to read or, you know, I've got to understand something, and how someone might text it or send an email might not be... I might translate it a bit different. I'm always good to have a conversation. But I find it now empowering to say, you know, take the power back, because that's the issue. The shame, the worry, the concern, the fear, the insecurities is what kind of grips you in a space where you don't move forward. So now I will say, look, I'm dyslexic and this is how I want it, because if I do that, I'm going to do the work better, I'm going to be better for everybody, and I think it's about me actually taking back the power and not making it cripple me. So, you know, I'm very honest with, like, reading words, not words, but names is my most fearful thing, and I will make sure it's kind of broken down in a way that I can read it. And the same in dating. You know, I tell these men I'm dyslexic. I didn't realise a lobster was that expensive. But,
I was going to say, there's got to be a way you're using this to advantage on the dating thing.
My advantage, baby. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm going to just carry this with me. I've got dyslexia.
I mean, look, it's so...
Just rub it there a bit more. It's my dyslexia.
Just, you know, you might be sending little texts a little bit saucy, and if they don't respond, say, oh, sorry, it was a slip of the finger. You know what I mean? But I think you should be open in any relationship, your working relationship, like you both said, we've all said, you know, where we work, we're so supported. I mean, sometimes they want me to read one line, and I'm like, but they know, and it's all sorted and we practice, and I think just remember, it gives you back the power. Take the power back, and that's what pushes me forward.
Also, you are utterly brilliant at looking into a camera where there's no words and ad-libbing it and being hilariously funny.
Yeah.
So that's a gift way beyond being able to read a line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Dating? What about you in dating? Would you say anything?
I think I'd have to, or, you know, what am I going to do? Say, can we go somewhere that does a plain cheese sandwich with no butter and can you put the You think I'm really odd if I didn't say. So I think, yeah, for me now I'd need to own it and say, but... I mean, ideally, just no dating at all would be fabulous. That's where it's just non-existent.
That sounds the best way.
And I think with the maths thing, it's just like, oh, I can't add up the bill, you'll have to pay. Ah!
Yeah. You know what? It's the kids for me. I've been honest with the kids, because when they're bringing home that homework and they're like, Mum, I don't understand this, do you understand this? I'm like, hold on a minute, and I will call somebody else.
I found that really difficult with the kids' homework.
Yeah, I tell them now, I say, look...
I got so upset about the maths and everything not being able to, because they show me a primary school maths thing, I can't. And even on this show, when we've had jokey bits where, for whatever reason, we're doing a little bit of a competition and it's, you know, Johnny brings 2 apples home from school and he can't... And I sit there with my palms absolutely sweating, thinking how I can make a joke out of it. You said that with maps, because even on these sat-nav things, when it's the walking map thing, I just cannot make sense. It just doesn't make sense of it.
Do you know how much people I've got lost when I've been the passenger?
Oh, my God.
I think some of them are still driving now.
OK, we're going to move on. Dr Sam Hugh is one of the many women who've had later in life ADHD diagnosis. She's now made it her mission to humanise neurodiversity. I wish I could say it. I don't think I've managed once. And make the workplace more inclusive. Dr Sam is in the audience today, so welcome. So what are some of the everyday challenges that people with non-visible disabilities face in the workplace?
So the challenge is that this neurodiverse experiences, how we experience it, is invisible. So a lot of the challenges, you know, are really dependent on the factors in the context of our lives. But if you think about a life of a woman, from the minute you wake up in the morning, you're thinking, you know, if you have children, how do I get all my kids out, you know, in the morning? And then how do I get myself out, you know, in the morning? And then we go into the commute, right? The pack, train carriage. And then that's already creating this sensory, mental distress of being jammed up, you know, with other people. And then you get to work and you think, does my work understand the way I think, learn, process information differently, and the way I communicate? You know, if your manager isn't telling you exactly what they want from you, this then create like a stress response, you know, get kicked about. And you're wondering, like, what am I doing here? You know, how do I cope with everything, on top of everything that's going on in my life? And this causes a burnout, you know, from having to deal with all these things day in, day out on your own.
Yeah.
You know, that's
and sadly, I should think that a lot of very talented women leave the workplace because they don't feel understood. So it's really important for bosses to understand what's going on so they don't lose great people. But on that, what can you do? What could you say to your boss? Because I suppose a lot of people are really scared to say something in case they're going to get their leave.
Yeah, most neurodivergents will only really open up if they feel that it'll be positively, you know, received.
Yeah.
So, but most workplaces don't have that understanding or neurodiversity training in the workplace from a position of strengths and challenges, you know. But when you open up about your diagnosis, you have to be your own cheerleader. Because, you know, no one's really going to advocate for you if you don't see the value in yourself. So you have to reframe your neurodivergence from a position of strength, why they employed you to do the job, because you're adding value to the team, right?
Yeah, I mean, that is the thing, you know. I might not be able to do this, but you put me in front of anybody, I'm going to be able to talk to them, I'm going to be able to charm them, I'm going to be able to this. So looking for the positive thing and selling that big.
Exactly, and we all have strengths and challenges. We're human beings, right? We're multidimensional. So it's to kind of normalise it, you know? But just because we have ADHD and autism, and that's all been put into focus, it doesn't mean that we're less than or disabled or deficit, you know, in any way, because we are really amazing people with charming personalities.
And is that a stress ball that you've got there?
The lifetime of having to cope.
My way, could you?
I need it.
Come on, let me stress. Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you.